Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I'm Marjorie, 44-year-old female, and my husband Palmer, 42-year-old male, and I are in a huge disagreement about our kids' education, specifically our stepdaughter Erin, 15-year-old female. My son Keith, 17-year-old male, who's my biological child, has always been incredibly talented in the kitchen. He could whip up gourmet meals from a young age. So for high school, we enrolled him in the prestigious Étoile Culinary Academy. It's incredibly competitive and expensive, but he's thriving, top of his class, already winning regional competitions, and getting offers for summer stages at Michelin-starred restaurants. I don't mind paying the hefty tuition for his passion and future. Palmer's daughter, Erin, my stepdaughter, also has an interest in cooking, though she's always been more of a casual baker. We thought it would be a good idea for her to attend Étoile as well. Since Keith was already there, it was easier for her to get in. This is where the problem is. Erin is struggling terribly. The academy is rigorous, with daily practicals and complex techniques. She's consistently getting F's on her practical exams, her soufflés collapse, her sauces break, her intricate pastry work never quite comes together. Even with a private mentor, Jane, an older student, Erin is barely scraping by, mostly D's and C's on theory but failing practicals. It's not from a lack of effort. I see her practicing late into the night. Every failed dish just seems to crush her spirit. I brought up the idea of moving her to a more suitable program next year, perhaps a local vocational school with a culinary track or a community college program that's less intense. Palmer was furious. He said Étoile is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and Erin just needs to work harder to seize it. I countered that working harder isn't helping her here. She's clearly doing her best, but it's not the right fit. Doing well at a less intense program is far better than failing at Étoile, especially if she's losing her love for cooking in the process. Palmer accused me of not caring about Erin and favoring Keith, saying I was implying she wasn't good enough. I told him that wasn't it at all. This academy is just too high pressure for her and she'd thrive elsewhere. I said I'd be happy to pay if she was succeeding, but it feels like a waste of money, and more importantly, a waste of her self-esteem. Yesterday, Palmer and I were discussing this and Keith overheard. He must have told Erin because she came to talk to us. She'd been staying with her biological mother for the weekend. We sat down, and Erin, to my surprise, seemed almost relieved. She said she felt like a complete failure and couldn't keep up. She admitted she'd wanted to switch academies a month into the term, but hadn't said anything because we'd already paid the first semester's tuition. She had even mentioned her struggles to Palmer, but he had told her to just push through and reminded her how hard it was to get a spot. I asked her how she was really feeling. She broke down, saying the pressure was immense, and she was constantly comparing herself to students like Keith, who made it look effortless. She said she felt she was working 10 times harder than her peers but producing far worse results. She understood that Étoile wasn't for her. She also mentioned that Jane, her mentor, would be graduating soon and wouldn't have much time for her next semester with college applications. I then asked her what she truly wanted. She said she desperately wanted to leave. I asked if she wanted to try another private culinary school or a different type of program. She immediately said a vocational school or community college. She said her friends there were learning valuable skills without the constant stress and fear of failure. When I suggested we could make the change next academic year, she surprised me by saying she wanted to leave now, mid-semester. She said she hated being there and felt she was going to be asked to leave anyway. She worried that getting expelled from Étoile would look terrible on her future applications, even for a vocational school. When I asked why she thought she'd be asked to leave, she said her instructors had told her that with her current practical scores, she needed to score 90% or more on every remaining practical to avoid probation or expulsion. She'd barely hit 50 to 60% so far and knew she couldn't make that jump. Palmer then lost his temper. He yelled that she was a quitter, that she was giving up just because things got tough and that we'd already paid for the full year. He said she didn't appreciate the investment. He insisted we'd find another mentor if Jane was busy. I stepped in and told Palmer to listen. Erin has been struggling the whole time under immense pressure, and it's clearly not from a lack of effort. This environment is just not right for her. Erin herself reiterated that she wanted to change schools, but Palmer just kept saying she was wasting our money. Erin tearfully said that coming to Étoile wasn't even her idea and it had been a mistake. She couldn't participate in any of the academy's prestigious young chef competitions or special event catering because her grades were too low. Her friends at the vocational school had a life outside of constant culinary stress. So, Erin wants to change academies and she wants to do it mid-year. I believe it's the right choice for her mental health and future, even if it means losing some tuition money. Am I the a-hole for pushing this and considering pulling her out now, going against Palmer's wishes? So what's the verdict? Verdict, not the a-hole. Verdict summary: the community overwhelmingly agrees that you are not the a-hole. Prioritizing Erin's mental health, well-being, and long-term passion for cooking over the sunk cost of tuition or your husband's pride is the right decision. Forcing her to stay in an environment where she's clearly failing and miserable would only lead to further demotivation and damage. Comment 1: Chef life, not stress life. As someone who went through a similar rigorous culinary program, I can tell you that environment isn't for everyone. It can crush your spirit if you're not a perfect fit. You're doing the right thing by listening to Erin. A vocational school where she can find her joy again is a far better path than enduring constant failure in a place that's not serving her. Comment 2: Parenting with purpose. Your husband Palmer is focused on sunk costs and prestige, not his daughter's actual happiness or future. Erin bravely articulated her struggles and her desire to leave, and you are validating her feelings. That's good parenting. The opportunity isn't an opportunity if it's actively harming her. Get her out of there. Dissenting opinion, tough love tidings. I disagree. Quitting mid-year teaches a bad lesson about perseverance. Life is tough and sometimes you have to push through even when it's hard. They paid for a full year, she should try to finish it and then reevaluate. You might be enabling her to give up too easily and she might regret it later.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.